Rambam. We continue in the laws of the Holy Temple. We are learning the laws of Klei HaMikdash, the things of the temple. Chapter 6, halacha number 1, we begin. It's impossible for the sacrifice of a person to be offered without him standing in attendance. Now, the communal offerings are sacrifices of the entire Jewish people, but it's impossible for the entire Jewish people to stand in the temple courtyard at the time when they're being offered. Therefore, the prophets of the first era ordained that there be a selective, upright, and sin-fearing Jews who should serve as agents of the entire people. Right? To stand and observe the offering of the sacrifices. They are called the men of Maimed, Anshe Maimed. They were divided into 24 Ma'amadas, equaling the number of watches of priests and Levites, Kohanim and Levim, right? Over each of these watches was one who was appointed as a supervisor of them all. He was called the head of the Maimed, Reish HaMaimed, right? So remember, an offering has to be done by the one who's offering it. So when it's a communal offering, we need to have the community represented, right? That's what this is speaking about. Which ties in what we spoke about, minyan, right? A minyan has to be a representation of the entire people. Because then it's like the entire people are making this request, right? Okay, excellent. So each week, the members of the Maimed, of that particular week's responsibility of the week, would join together. Those living in Jerusalem or close to it would enter the temple with the Kohanim and the Levite watch of that week. When the week of the Maimed arrived, those members of the Maimed who lived in distant places would gather in the synagogues of their locale. Okay. Number 3. Let timid. What would those who gather together, both in Jerusalem and synagogues, do? They would fast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of their week. They would not fast on Friday out of respect of Shabbos and not on Sunday, so that they would not make a transition from the pleasure of Shabbos to a fast. On every weekday, day of the week, rather, that there was Maimed, they would recite 4 prayer services: the morning service, the afternoon service, and the Ila service, and another prayer service between morning service and afternoon service that was an additional and unique for them. In the Maimed, the Kohen bless the people 3 times in the morning service, in this additional service, and the Ila service. They would have 3 men read from the Torah twice a day in the morning service, and the second in the service that they would add. In the afternoon service, they would not read the Torah. Instead, they would recite passages by heart as one recites the Shema. They would not gather for the afternoon service on Friday, for they were busy in the preparations of Shabbos.
Isn't it true that in Israel, the Kohanim bless the grounds every day?
In Jerusalem every day. Outside of Jerusalem, I think they trying to remember if they just do it on Shabbos. It might just be Shabbos and holidays. I'm trying to remember now if it's every day outside of Jerusalem. For sure, it's every day. I don't recall that. Okay, so they're gathering together for each of these prayers, of these 4 services, and they're standing in prayer. Supplication and petition and reading of Torah is called Maimed, right? I mean, it comes from the word to stand, like amod. Yamoy, Menachem Hillel ben Avram, right? Means stand up to come and get an aliyah when someone's called for an aliyah, for example. What would they read from the Torah? The narrative of creation. On the first day, they would read in the beginning, let there be a firmament. On the second day, they would read firmament, let there be a firmament, let the waters be gathered. Third day, the waters be gathered, and let there be luminaries. On the fourth day, let there be luminaries and let the waters teem. Fifth day, let the waters teem and let the earth produce. On the sixth day, let the earth produce, and the heaven and their earth were completed. A large passage would be read by two men, a small passage by one. The two passages that were read in the morning would be read during the second service from a scroll. They would then be read again during the afternoon service by heart. So here we have a Balkoyer, we have an individual who does the reading. Then it was whoever was called up, they read. You see that in some Sephardic communities, they do that. Some Sephardic communities, they do that the person goes up, they do the reading. Yeah. This is what he's mentioning over here. Sure, in the 8 days of Hanukkah, the red. The men of the Maimed would not carry out a Maimed in the morning service. Because there's a lot of supplication over here and stuff, right? So Hanukkah is a celebrated time, so they wouldn't do this, right? The supplications and everything. Excuse me 1 second. Remember what's happening, that these people are representing the entire people for the communal offerings. So that the communal offerings can be accepted, right? There's a serious kind of attitude over here.
Should have made more.
No, it's all good.
I know. We need coffee, Rabbi.
Hi.
Van Hoot. I'll pay the difference. On Maxwell.
Huh?
You get Van Hoot, I'll pay the difference. Maxwell.
You know where to get it?
Wherever you get it, I'll pay the difference from wherever you pay for Maxwell's.
All right.
IGA, I don't know.
1 second. Oh, give me a moment, folks. Just have to get this. Hello? Yeah.
I sent you
It's
a link.
from just out Eretz Israel, just in
I
Jerusalem.
sent you a link. I sent you a link. Get the message.
I'll just write my other thing.
Okay.
So Berkat Hapoanim is done throughout Israel, not just in Jerusalem. And the priestly blessing, the priestly blessing
Yes.
is done throughout all of Israel,
Yes.
in Israel today,
Yes.
not just in Jerusalem.
Okay.
But if I was wondering whether it was only in Jerusalem, but according to ChatGPT, it's done throughout all of Israel.
Today or
Yeah,
but in Europe, it's done useful.
I don't know.
When the temple's good.
I don't know. But in Israel, it's done throughout the entire.
Cool. It's done everywhere here.
Ah,
It's done everywhere.
in Israel,
Here too.
daily. It's done every day, Shavshu.
Every day.
Yeah, that's what you said, yeah. That's what I said, the
We
daily.
do the daily blessing here. I mean, the priestly blessing.
No, listen what I'm saying. The priestly blessing, like what you all would do.
When he actually does
Yes, yeah, it's done every day throughout all of Israel. That's what they say here. Nothing else we're discussing.
What I'm also mentioning is we do say without the callus, the priestly blessings. Every day. That's at Mida at the end.
Yeah, that's when we getting the service. Right? No, I'm seeing here that the daily Birkat HaKohanim done throughout all of Israel.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, not just members.
I think there might it might be different customs, but yeah. Okay.
Definitely, he said.
What?
Definitely the Orthodox ceremonies.
Right. Okay. On a day there where there is Musaf
Where are
in 8.
Hmm.
Second paragraph in 8. On any day when there is Musaf, service, sacrifice, what's Musaf?
The Shabbat.
Right. When is that? What days are those?
and
Right.
on holidays, Rosh Chodesh?
Rosh Chodesh and holidays. Excellent. There was not Maimed during the second service, nor in the afternoon service, only in the morning and the Niyala service. Right? Because Musaf means it's a special day. Additional offering means it's a special day. Right? So on any day when the sacrifice of wood, there was not a Maimed during the Niyala service, only during the morning, second and afternoon service. So again, the Maimed means it's a special service of supplication and so on and so forth, because they're representing the entire Jewish people, the entire Jewish people, and therefore that the offering should be accepted. So they're fasting and so on and so forth, right? But on these specific times, so they wouldn't be doing this. As we said, Hanukkah, they would not carry out the Maimed service, right? Then. So they wouldn't read from the Torah or recite the readings, special readings that were done, because of the service.
Wow.
Any day there was a sacrifice of wood, there was not a Maimed during the Niyala service, only during the morning, second, and afternoon service. Number 9. What is the sacrifice of wood? What does that mean? Certain families had a fixed time on which they would go out to the forest and bring wood for the arrangement on the altar. On the day designated for this family to bring their sacrifice, they would bring voluntary burnt offerings. This was called the sacrifice of wood. Right? Wood was not a regular sacrifice. Wood was really used to have the sacrifices put on the wood to burn them on the altar, right?
Fuel.
Right, as fuel, exactly. So there are families that they brought the wood as a gift, and because of that, they were able to bring certain designated offerings as a result, burnt offerings, right? It was like a festival for these families, and that they were forbidden to have eulogies delivered fast or performed work on that day. This was a custom, right?
Did they sell wood in the market? I think one time you said that, I remember they stayed late, the people who sold wood in the markets.
And the Hanukkah, yeah. Shetiklet, yeah. The sellers of wood. That's a different thing. It was like a festival. Yeah. Okay. Number 10. Even a private individual who gave wood or logs for the arrangement of the altar is forbidden to have eulogies delivered, fast, or performed work on that day. This was a custom. Final halacha in this chapter: the men of Maimed are forbidden to have their hair cut or to launder their clothes throughout the week. They serve in the temple. On Thursday, they're permitted in honor of Shabbos. Why were they forbidden to have their hair cut and launder their clothes? So they would not enter the Maimed while they're unkept. Instead, they would have their hair cut and launder their clothes beforehand. It's like a holiday. When the holiday comes, Chol Hamoed, you're not allowed, you shouldn't be washing your clothes. Because you should have washed your clothes beforehand. So you come into the holiday appropriately prepared for the proper clothing of the holiday. So you don't do it during the holiday and spend your time during the holiday washing clothes rather than celebrating the holiday. I don't mean on Yom Tov. Yom Tov, you're not allowed to wash clothes, right?
What?
Talking about Chol Hamoed, the in-between days. So these 9 days also you're not allowed to wash. That's because of mourning. But in a certain way, this is also because of, well, this is here, it's more of a, not mourning. The point is you come prepared to the event. Holidays, right? Sukkot, Pesach, the intermediate days, the Chol Hamoed, don't do wash your clothes. Now, if you have children and they sullied all their clothing and you have to wash it, so then you're allowed to because you're doing it for the sake of the holiday. But that's not what you should be doing. Oh, I'll wait till the holiday in between, the Chol Hamoed, when it's a bit downtime and I'll do the washing then. No, come prepared for the holiday. Okay?
The holy days.
Okay, let's do chapter 7, the first halacha. There are 15 officers in the temple. And similarly, an officer would always be appointed over these 15 matters. They're responsible for A, the time of the offering of the sacrifices, the locking of the gates, the guards, the singers, the cymbals and other musical instruments, the lotteries, right, of who gets what, the pairs of doves, the seats, the wine libations, the sick, the water, the preparation of the showbread, the preparation of the incense offering, the preparation of the curtains, the preparation of priestly garments.
Those are 15. Okay.
Those are different, 15 areas of responsibility. Number 2, each of these officers has many men under his command in order to arrange a task over which he is appointed. The one appointed to supervise the times, he and his men watch the times. When the time comes for the sacrifice to be offered, he or one of the men under his charge announced, Kohen, arise to the temple service. Levim, go to the platform. Israelites, to the Ma'amid, right? Right, we just learned Ma'amid, right? Ma'amid was they had to be present, right? What we spoke about most of the time was not about being present, because being present was just your present, right? That way, the offering is being offered on behalf of the entire Jewish people being present, right? But the other stuff was what they did during the rest of the time, during that week that they had their stay or their duties in the Holy Temple. When the voice was heard, everyone would proceed to his task. All right, amazing. Wonderful to continue, but
number 3.
Thank you. You're good, David. You're good. We're gonna have some Van Hoot coffee. Hoo-hoo. Hoot hoot.